Hey, count out to the geeks. We're back, and today have a gentleman that's in Argentina currently, and he's worked on Witchblade. He's worked on H.P. Lovecraft's The Thing on the Doorstep. Um, he's worked with Top Cow. That's actually where he fell in love with comics to a point, and we're going to break into that. Um, but the biggest reason why I really went after him is because his art is awesome. If you're not doing the H.P. Lovecraft one. It's on issue 4, which will drop actually this Wednesday. Um, but if you missed it out and you can't find those issues, the graphic novel is going to be dropping in August. You got to pick it up. His artwork, the horror that he does, the gothic look, just the way he draws, is just awesome. But the reason why is Last Starfighter. If you can see behind me right here, this is a gorgeous piece. Last Starfighter is my thing, just like The Wraith. Those movies are iconic movies. We have been waiting for years for this series, for issue like movie of part 2 to come out, and it hasn't. But we're getting a continuation in the comic, and he is getting to write it. Willi Roberts is getting to do the interiors. Just some of the pieces that I'm going to bring up. You're going to love it. Um, and also, we're going to ask, like, how does, was he a fan as a kid? All these questions we're going to hit. But of course, before we start, we got to give a quick shout out to Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch. If you are a gamer, if you want to pick up graphic novels, or you want to play D&D, this is where you want to go. And then, of course, to our friend Nasser at his show Comic Arts in San Antonio, November 14th, 2026. He's going to be making an announcement soon. You're not going to want to miss this guest that he's going to be announcing, and there's more to come. And it's a legend in the industry, by the way. Um, and then also to our friends, the gentleman who made this Last Starfighter piece back here, um, the Wizard Beard. If you're going to be at SpaceCon, of course, we got to give a quick shout out to SpaceCon too. If you're a Star Trek fan, you could pick up this piece. You can pre-order this piece from this gentleman. If you're a fan of Star Trek, or if you are an X-File fan and you want to get them to sign, there's this piece that he's got together. And then also Reacher, if you're a fan of Reacher. And of course, the piece in the back that if you want a closer look, this piece right here, Greetings Starfighter. If you don't know this, I don't know where you've been. But anyway, it's been too long. Let's get him in the room already. Let's get to talk with him. Willie, how's it going
Hey
today?
man, how are you, man?
Pretty good, man. It's an honor to have you on, man, because you are
Oh,
bringing
thanks to
my
you.
childhood dream to life. It's not on the screen, but you're bringing it up on comics, man.
Yeah,
What age? I mean, I know that you've mentioned before that at 25 is when you got into comics,
yeah,
but at what point? I mean, did you take art school? Because I want to hear the story. Because a lot of people didn't take art school; they just were drawing.
yeah. That's me. I never went to art school. It's something that I made from like 5 years old. I think I was
Wow.
something in me. Of course, I draw. It's, any kids draw when at that age, but for me, it's like never stop. Right? It's I play with my toys, but then all the time I was drawing and drawing, and even when I was from on TV, I was drawing what I saw in the TV, and this is kind of my formation, right? Like before comics and all that, it was like drawing anything, and well, it's something that I never studied. When I came to the comics, I had to study all these great artists because it's different to know art, be just an artist and be a comic artist. It's totally different, right? It's another language. You have to learn the structure of a comics. You have to learn so many things that you never thought about it because it's not just drawing beautiful pictures, right? You need to learn how to tell a story, and this is probably the hardest part, right? Tell the story right and create this connection with the reader. It's not just a sketchbook. It's like okay, sometimes you have to draw your best. Sometimes you have to go back a little bit to let the story development right, and you have to find your style, which is pretty hard. And do something that people recognize is something so so hard in these days because there's so many artists and they all for me are great, and it's hard to jump in business and be somebody, right? That your name start ringing a bell in publisher is pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, to catch a publisher's eye, to come out and reach to you and say, "Hey, come work with us." Not only that, I mean, for you to not only that, okay, most kids, they're Marvel fans, DC fans, and that's where they wanna get into. They wanna break into Marvel, DC. You were a Top Cow fan from the get-go, and to
Yeah.
get your gig working with Top Cow, mind you, we're jumping a little bit forward. What was actually your first gig that you actually got to work in comics? Was that it?
No, no, I start right from the bottom. I checked so many shops, not paid shops. So working on a coffee shop, I spend the night drawing and the day working as a normal person, right? And then I spend hours and hours trying to become better. And with Top Cow was actually was my first the first comic book that I read was I had two different comics that my mom bring us home. It was Superman Death and the other was Witchblade. So I was really young, and I saw this amazing artwork, and it was something that blew my mind. And I didn't understand at that age. I think I was 8 years old or 9, and I couldn't understand how a person can draw like that. I think it was some kind of mixture between I can't remember if it was Recapullo, the artist. I think he was, but I don't think he drew Witchblade. Maybe it was Spawn crossover, something like that. I can't remember now. I don't have that coming anymore. But that was something that changed my way to see art, right? Because I was drawing anything. Like I love anime and all that. Here in Argentina, it wasn't that easy like you guys in US have all this material, right? You can buy only the thing that you find in a comic book shop, but there's not too many. And
Wow.
it's part of your culture and not us. Now we start moving forward, but it was hard to find new comic books. When you pick up a new comic book, it was like 4 years old, right?
Wow.
But it was that was the comic book change, and then life bring me to Tokyo, and I know it's, it's something funny because it was Tokyo was the first time that I worked for US publisher, right? It's like my door to America. But I spent years working on other projects. I spent a couple of years working with Simon Burks, the writer of The Thing on the Doorstep and Antarctica, my friend, and I work in his company Blue Fox in UA and London and England. Sorry, and we worked for a couple of years working on horror comics more than anything, and Lovecraft adaptations. Actually, The Thing on the Doorstep was created in Blue Fox. Then Cow took that title and publisher. So this comic has like 6 years old, something like that. It's
Wow.
not my recent work, like happened with the Last Starfighter. It is the last thing I did.
Wow. I mean, the artwork that you did in that and bringing and that was the thing that I was going to ask you about is that you created monsters for this. And that's one of the things is as people don't realize who just think that okay, we pick up a comic from a comic book shelf and it's just there. They don't realize that you guys have to read the script and then take what's written and then picture in your head, okay, how am I going to do this? And then you start doing your I call them doodles, but doing your drafts
Yeah.
and then you kind of show it to the writer or the editor and they look it over and they're like, okay, we like it. Or they'll say, hey, can you change this? We want this added to it. Or like you mentioned, you didn't go to art school for any of this. So how did you learn to translate the scripts to paper?
Oh, I read a lot of script. In the first ones that I read, it was not good because it was all amateur work, and I wasn't good even to work on comic book. I was just starting, and the script was sometimes it was pretty hard to read and understand what you want to tell because write a script in comic book script is not as easy as look. You need to learn all these rules to make a good comic book. And then I draw and spend many hours, many days, many nights because it was from 25 to let's say 30 two that I started working as a professional. Right, got my first payment and all that, and it took a lot of years. People think, and young people think that you can get into comic in 2 years, 3 years. Is if you can do that, is because you're the next, I don't know, Alex Ross. But if you make the long way as I did, you have to be patient because it takes a lot of time to develop and that quality on your work that people gonna enjoy. And even the people is more the publishers, right? The editors have to look your work and say, okay, this guy is perfect for this project, or have to see your relationship with the story, because it's not just about drawing good. You have to be professional. You have to development everything in time, in the right way. You have to sometimes you have to go back and change things and understand the idea of the script. If you it helps if you work with good writers, right? This is the best
Yeah.
thing you get, because everyone write different, and it's totally different Simon than Benjamin Raab and Derek Hughes that in charge of the Last Starfighter, because they different styles to tell the story. They're both great, so the narrative is totally different. So you have to see if your artwork fits with this kind of. It happened to me sometimes. There was a writer that sent me like 22 pages, and every page has like 9 panels or 10. It was this.
Oh wow.
It's impossible to me to work the way, because I don't enjoy this kind of work, because it's like all the artwork is like compressed in a page.
Yeah.
You can understand it if there's no air there's no time to breathe in that page. And it works for many artists, but it's not my style. So I had to learn to say no. I don't think I'm the right person for this project, and it's hard because you need the show, you need the money. So sometimes you have to do whatever you have to do to survive.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't want to diminish what they're trying to write and bring to the page, but at the same time, you want to tell, like you mentioned, and Sweeney Boo is mentioned as well. You want the art to tell a story too, not just the words and dialogue. You know what I mean? And I feel that's where the artist is also a major part of the
Yeah,
comic itself. Because like you've created the monsters, mind you. If you haven't read this, guys, go pick it up. The monsters designs that he's created are freaking phenomenal. When I was going to ask about this,
yeah,
was it because you watched a lot of horror movies and you just kind of has to? Oh, is that the reason?
yeah. I grew up watching a lot of horror movies, like slashers and all that from the 80s, and
Oh,
I still love. I mean, for me, it's the best genre to work is horror.
yeah.
It's something that I feel comfortable, and it's something that it comes so easy to my artwork, because and when I read a script, a horror right script, it's like I already creating all these images in my head. It's like I watching a movie that it's not like I start drawing sketches
Wow.
and build that structure. It's like what I have in my mind, I have to put it on the paper. But this is my way to work. So when I read the script, it's like all my brain is creating all these images, all these scenes in my head. Then I try to put it there. There's so many times that what I have in my head is not the same exactly what the script says, and then that's when I talk with the writers and say, okay, I have this idea. It happened a couple of times in the Last Starfighter, because we created a new universe, or not new, but we expand the
Yes.
universe movie. So there's a lot of great songs, right? Like they don't tell me, okay, this has to be like exactly like that. So they give me a lot of freedom to create, and that was dream come true for me to okay, do whatever you want. Even
Wow.
Jonathan Betrell I talked with him a lot of times, and he sent me, go, do whatever you want. It's like I give you the idea now, free your mind and do whatever you want. And he was super happy when I started giving the first pages. It's like, okay, this is perfect. I can't expect anything better than this. And it was like, but I had to change things because I saw in my head as a movie, because it's a movie, but the script has that structure of movies. So I try to recreate what I have in mind when I read the script. That's my job.
So, okay, jumping into that point, but before we get there, uh,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
no. So you with the horror part of it. So when you mentioning you're reading the script, so as you're reading it, your imagination's already running wild
Yeah.
on what you're
Oh
reading
man,
is
it's
already
like,
popping in the head of yours, right?
yeah, it's a
And see,
machine that is
that's
at work.
no, no. I understand what you're talking about because as a fan for myself, and I was art. I loved art as a kid, and I took it in school, and a teacher killed my love for art, and
Oh
I
no.
went away from yeah. But mind you, but the imagination, you kind of have to have that imagination
Yeah.
to do an artist. And yeah, you could teach somebody to draw and they can copy and do stuff, but I feel you need that extra step of the imagination to create characters and to create a scene of what you're wanting to see in your head and then put it
Yeah.
on paper. And that's something you can't teach somebody. That has to come natural.
No, creativity is for me is not something that you can teach. Maybe the tools to bring you to
Yeah.
that state of okay, I'm open to bring anything because when you create a new piece, it's not like that piece is totally new. It's something that you learn from many other. It's like taking things from another place and then you merge it all together, and that's with your own voice, right? But it's not like you create something from zero. It's like you have, even if you don't know from where, maybe it's something you saw when you have 2 years old. I don't know. You don't know where this came from, but it's creativity, right? It's like putting all these pieces together, like a chef. It's cooking from elements that already exist. They don't create new food, right? And this is almost the same process. So when it's about horror, there's a lot of disturbing images in my head because even the covers that I made for the thing
I'm
with
gonna
those
bring one up while you're talking about that because I was
yeah, okay,
this one. I mean,
this
issue one, mind you.
issue. Yeah, actually,
This
this was it wasn't the first cover because the original cover was totally different from the Blue Fox age when we
oh
created
wow.
Interior. And then Simon told me, okay, we're gonna split the comic, the story, and we're gonna make 5 issues. So you have to create 2 or 3 more new covers and say, okay, we need a new one for the first issue, and that was okay. I had to create something new that, and it's the first one, so you have to do something really shocking for the people that is gonna take a look. If you have that cover with many other comic books, you have to look and say, okay, your eye had to look into that cover, even if you don't buy it later. So that is something that I try to get that cover, and when that idea comes to my head pretty fast, I wasn't looking at something particular. It's like okay, I have all the story because the story also already finished. This okay, this could be something to get readers' attention, and what very good because people always tell me that that cover is really freaking terrifying.
No, no, and that's why I bought that one up. And if and I okay, as a comic book fan, you want to, even if you're not, as for me, if it's not a title I'm reading, but if that art speaks to me from the cover, I'm gonna pick it up just for the cover because
Yeah,
it's a piece of art, and it's like, and then yeah, you could read it, but if it catches your eye, that means you just picked it up one because of the cover, and then you're glancing through it, and then you're like, hey, this is not bad. Pick it up, and then you start reading it. That's something that you weren't gonna pick up in the first place. You know what I mean? But that cover
yeah,
took you in, or called to you and made you pick it up. And I feel that's what art is, and that's why some people complain like, "Oh, DC and Marvel are putting too many covers out there." No, they're doing it because there's fans out there who have like certain artists, like you. You were a
yeah,
fan of Craig Capullo,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And
yeah, yeah.
I was going to ask about that.
Oh man,
Have you
I,
met him?
no, I met Scott and Jonathan, the inker, right? Jonathan Gatlin, and he was in to San Diego in 2024. I hope this year I met her in San Diego. I hope he was there. He come to San Diego this year, and yeah, it was big influence because he had this kind of style from the 90s, but it's like he always changing and be modern, right? It's not like stuck in time. If you take a look on his work on my favorite work from Capullo is the era with Scott and Batman
Oh,
and
dude, yeah.
all this. I mean, is I take a look on that book many times to learn. Even I'm not gonna lie, I take a look about a month ago to learn new things and try to understand so many things about movement and all this shot he has is like is one of a kind, and I really enjoy the how he draw every single line like with personality, right? It's like if you take a little like this small panel, you know it's great, right? It's no way you can miss with another one, and that's what I love from Greg. And yeah, it was a big influence in my work for sure.
See, that's awesome, and that's the thing. I mean, it's like, you know, Michael Jordan and Kobe. Kobe looked to Michael to learn from him and make him a better player, and you're still learning from Greg. And not only that, I mean, Mark Silvestri. I mean, I feel
Oh,
so
Mark,
many artists learn from him and picked up so many talents from this gentleman, and have sharpened these other younger generations of artists that are now becoming the legends as the legends are passing away.
yeah,
And
exactly.
you are, I feel, are going to be up there because the way your
Thanks.
art, well, because your art style, and
I hope so.
that's why I love about art. Everybody has their unique art style, and that's what I see when I see the arts, the shadows, the coloring, because it's not just about the pencils, it's about how you're going to color it, how your shadows are going to be, from what angle. I mean, there's so much to go into it, and for people who don't know, that's why I'm doing this, because
Yeah.
people just think, okay, I'm going to pick up this comic and I'm just going to read it, and that's how it is, but they don't realize how much work goes into it.
Oh man,
You
there's so many
know,
words. There's so many
yeah,
hours. There's so many. There's a voice inside of every comic, and it is the writer, the artist. Sometimes the artist is penciler. Then there's an inker and a colorist. There's so many people. There's so many talents combined, and I think it's the only medium who have all these pieces together, right? It's like sometimes it's like music, right? You have all these musicians in the same room, and something it creates something special, right? It's not something that you can recreate in another level.
yeah,
You have that, and in comic books is something that if you think we're talking about Rick Capullo and Scott Snyder, we don't get each other very good on the first days of the Batman, but if you think about this these artists all separate, it's like you're not sure if you when you put it all together it's gonna look good, and you don't know what is gonna happen, but it
yeah,
happened something phenomenal, right? It's because it's like this combination that you don't know what is gonna happen. There's no way to know. So, and it happened to me many times when, especially this the last year when I already I used to color my own work, right? With Antarctica from Tocao and Destino de Doce was my own colors, right? And this I work on the Last Starfighter with Francesco Zagala, who is amazing colorist, and it was my first time that I deliver black and white, and when I recover all these beautiful images, it was like blow my mind because it's so fun to see your work and see how take another roads or another ideas and put it together. And it's like some for me at least I don't like to interfere with
yeah,
Francesco work because I like to see what's happened and surprise me when I see his work. I have some notes here and there, right? But I love to see the feedback that we got, and even with the script with Derek and Benjamin, because probably they never worked with me and they didn't even know what is going to happen when I showed into the project, and the same things happen in every project. That's why I love, like you said, it is this medium, this genre, this the comic book from the artist's point of view. That's why I love it. I love to work.
and that was the thing I was going to ask as well, is that, you know, with not just getting the Last Starfighter job, which is where I want to talk to you about.
Yeah,
As a kid, did you watch this movie, or did you have to go watch it before you started working on it, or how did that process
I
go?
yeah I watched it when I was a little kid. I don't think it was BTS. I was in the TV because I have we in Argentina we don't have that kind of level of. It's like we have more reduced kind of content, right?
Yeah,
And I remember from that age, ET and Indiana Jones and the first Terminator. So all that, all those movies was in my living room, one another. But when I'm back to when I signed with Matt Kane and tell me, okay, you want to work as an artist on the Last Starfighter, it was yeah, I remember that movie, but I wasn't watching since I was a little kid. So when I sit and watch it like 10 times in a row to get the movie and learn everything about the movie, it was like okay, I start feeling having that feeling that I had when I read it, when I see that movie the first time. It was so man, I love this movie, and there was like so many things to do because when I talked with Matt Cave and then told me about the project, I didn't have the first script yet, so I had to watch the movie, and I don't know what is going to happen after that. I thought it was more like a small sequel from the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that, nothing like that. It was like totally different.
Yeah, no, we've been waiting for this for years,
Yeah,
and that's the thing, that it's a continuation is what we know. It's a continuation right after the movie, and I'm gonna bring up a first some covers. I'm not gonna give out a lot, um, which there's been some stuff. There's like the first cover is this one, which is
yeah,
an awesome cover as well, and then this one right here has like kind of like a wanting of, hey, we're needing Starfighter kind of thing, like a promotional poster is the way I
yeah.
take this one. But what got me is when I saw you post this image, and it transitioned from pencil and over as it was transitioning
Oh
to,
yeah,
yeah, and the video wise,
yeah.
this, like, that to me, that scene, I feel as a kid, it takes me back because mind you guys, for the younger generations who don't know this, you have access to video games at home. You could play on your phone, you could play on your laptop, you could play. We didn't have that luxury. We
No
had
man.
to go to a convenience store if we were lucky, that, and if they even had that game. We would play any game that any convenience store had or any pizza place had. So
And we had
to
to wait so many times. We had to wait to play it, right? Because they always
exactly.
busy. Yeah,
And that was the point. And that was the thing. And when this movie came out, and for me, I don't know how you took it. When I saw it, I was like, this kid plays this game and he's constantly trying to beat it. And it reminds me to now, like trying to beat like Mario, or, because you wanted to get to the end and see what happens. And in this movie, that's what he's doing. Not knowing him breaking the record was actually a call to him being called up to be an actual starfighter for that video game, which was mind blowing because as a kid, you're like, man, can you imagine if that was me? That's how I saw it as,
yeah,
as a kid. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was that feeling. I think that especially what made that movie so different from the other ones. It's like you don't you're not a Luke Skywalker, right? Born from you're not a Jedi or anything like that. You're a simple guy, as you and me, right? Who give this opportunity to save the world, and that was something special that many people when people approach me to say, okay, I'm a huge fan of the Last Starfighter, they was mind blowing because I didn't know there was so many fans, and when they find out that there was a sequel, they text me and say, okay, I'm waiting for that. Even people that I work with, I tell him, okay, I'm gonna start with the Last Starfighter. He was, oh my god, I was waiting for 4 years for a sequel. I can't believe it. Was like super excited from that announcement, right? And I start feeling that it's something bigger than I expect, right? It's like, okay, I hope people like this sequel, this comic book, and it's like creating this kind of new fans because I'm pretty sure that it's gonna bring new fans, younger fans, right? But you and me and all people are gonna love this because you're gonna feel that connection. Because in my case, when I took the project, it was okay. I had to. We discussed a lot of. We had a meeting with all the team, right? And we get to agree that we don't want to make everything modern, right? We don't want to bring new stuff like modernize this story. It's like I think we should keep the original visual aspect of the story and
Wow.
bring new stuff. But even when I start designing characters, man, I design a lot of characters for this and and ships and landscape and places and
Oh
planets.
man.
There's a lot of things, and in my mind is for me it's my best work so far as an artist and as a creator because my mind was in another level. Right, it was I had like 3 months to work on only on design because it wasn't like they tell me that they want me on the project. It was like start next week. It was okay. you're gonna have the script in 2 months or 3 months. I don't remember now. And but you have to work on the design. So I had a lot of freedom and a lot of time, and that
Wow.
was something amazing from an artist because you have time to go back and forward with your ideas. There's a lot of things that when Benjamin they give me all this description of characters, they give me totally freedom. Even Jonathan tell me, okay, this character is like that, but just do whatever you want because they don't send me any image reference from anything. It was
Wow.
okay. You had to create this character. It's an okay. What it had to look like, whatever you want. So that was great for me. And in my head, I tried to create these characters like they were created for that movie from the 80s, not from now, right?
Wow.
So people feel like, okay, I'm in the same age, I'm in the same universe. It's not like you create something that's totally new, right? And that was my challenge because even the same things happen with the ships, right? I remember there was there's gonna be new ships beside the Gunstar. I can show.
Oh.
There's no way I can show you nothing now, but you wanna see it. And probably next month there's gonna be some kind of news. But then I had to redesign other ships, and I took a reference from the from the design of that age, right? And I don't want to create something too modern, to 2000. And then I remember I created a ship that wasn't approved because it was too James Cameron from the second Alien movie. It was like this kind of design, like block, and it
Oh,
was
okay, okay.
amazing. And it looks. The team said me, okay, the ship looks amazing. We're not gonna use it for that purpose, but we're gonna keep it. And then we use an initial one for another reason because it looks great. It looks like all in the same vibe in the same era, right?
Oh man.
And that was something. Even with the color, everything is like. I think they captured many of that movie, so I'm pretty sure people are gonna love it. It's something like you watch in the first 4 pages, but it's this is nothing new. There's a lot of it's a new universe
Well,
behind
I mean,
the story.
there's so many. Okay, as a kid, guys, if you don't know, he goes up there as he's going up there to help fight to fight this army, this war that's going on. The entire starfighters that were in a meeting get wiped out. So it's
Yeah,
only him and someone else. So mind you, I in my mind I always wondered at the end of that movie, him and his girlfriend are going up back into space, back up there
yeah,
to rebuild the armada.
yeah.
I can imagine like you're going to be introducing to I mean, this is just me. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Okay,
You're going to be introducing us to new aliens that are new starfighters
yeah,
and new races. Not just that, we're going to be getting new ships. We're going to be probably getting new enemies on top
yeah,
of that because the one guy escaped. If you didn't know, guys, he escaped and he was working with other alien races. So I can imagine what we get from that. But most of all, for me, and I'm gonna bring these other images up too because I was kind of like mind blown when I was watching this. This other one that you posted. This this scene.
yeah,
It's like right after the end of the movie. Almost,
yeah,
I'm not too sure. I don't know if we're getting a recap from the beginning, kind of giving us a kind of a quick filler, and then we're jumping into it. I'm just going off these images that I got here. And then this one right here. I feel this one's like after the whole thing, they were back on, you know, I'm assuming this is mind you, this is just me guessing. I don't know anything, guys. This is kind of taking place, I think, right after they get back on the
yeah.
planet.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no show time. It's not like okay, 20 years from now. It's like if you watch the movie, the second movie, right next to the first one. So
Oh my
we try
god.
to don't lose that. So, uh, well, that the last image you show me, it was like start to bring a new style because in the original movie that we don't see too much
Yeah.
from readers, right? From readers, we don't know anything. Now we have to watch how is readers in everything there, right? You have the buildings, the people, and
Wow.
how it feels. And that was part of my work on these first 3 months, right? We recreate, but it's not like you don't have reference for that because in the movie
Yeah, we
we
got
should
no
have one shot.
description
No,
of
we have a
Rylos.
shot on the last. minute when they came from the space, but we can. There's so many details, but
Yeah.
Jonathan told me, okay, how he. This is something special for me because I remember Jonathan sent me a mail, the original screenwriter, tell me, okay, I have all these ideas in my head, and that in the 84, right? So you have. He sent me everything he has in mind, and in just to recreate this in a comic book. So I try to
Oh
put
my
everything
god.
he has. So this comic book is not something behind beside the story. This have the original screenwriter, and this is what
Oh.
many people want to know what this story is going. And there's no better source than the original writer. So it's not like, oh, hey, something came to my head. It's something the Jonathan has in mind for 4 years. And I remember asking him, okay, you approve this the first issue, and he said, okay, man, I moved because this is something I expected for many years to get that, to see what's happened with Alex and Maggie, and something at least for me was very special to see that response from Jonathan.
You do know you're technically like the last Starfighter, but you're from Argentina, and you because I'm
Probably,
the reason why I say this. The reason why I say this is because Liz Kakowski, which is our designer, who got into working on art design for movies because she watched Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. She helped recreate Enterprise's D's bridge from bottom up by using photos and everything, and now she wrote a book about it. And I told her, "You do know you're a part of history now because you brought back the Enterprise D from bottom up,
yeah,
which technically you are going to be a mark in history because one, you're creating Rylos as a world, and not just that, you're giving us new characters and new ships. So anything that we see from here on out,
yeah,
if this is canon, if they decide, okay, this comic did so well, and we're gonna either get a movie or a screen like TV format or something for streaming, anything that you use that ship design
yeah,
could
yeah,
be from you. So you technically now are a part of history who
um,
created the Last
yeah,
Starfighter world. That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's a lot of pressure. It's not easy to take that compliment because I didn't take it that way. The first the first concept, right? I was just focused on the work. But when the news start coming up and everybody have his own feedback, and I start feeling okay. I think I'm in something bigger than I think I know. It was okay, and people ask me like, there's gonna be new characters and new shapes, and what is happening with this character? And what happened with Centauri? What happened? It's oh yeah, I know, but I didn't expect that. It was getting bigger, and when I talked to the team, there's so many fans of that. Every person that is in the team, even the editors, are fan of the movie. That's for sure. Because when I start development, designing, it was everyone send me a feedback and say, "Oh, I love this." So this is a kind of community work. And yes, when I start thinking, we discuss in a meeting like this could have the power, right, to become a TV show or a sequel like live action or even animation movie, which is perfect because for
Oh yeah, yeah,
for land guess is not going to take the sequel in time because it's 4 years older than the original
yeah,
movie.
exactly, yeah.
So in any aspect of the story, it's gonna look good as an animation movie. It's gonna look great as a live action or TV show because we discussed this and had a lot of elements. They can bring something fresh, and it's like renew the franchise and like waking up again, right? I feel that way. Like people start getting excited about it, and I hope in a year or 2 years have new toys about the Last
Dude,
Starfighter,
we
microline toys or something like that, because people are going to buy it because people are expected to this for years. It's like I'm telling
yes.
you, and I have a new podcast 2 days and Thursday. I think he has the same excitement as you. It's like he want to know what is new in the story, and everyone is even my friend Simon Burks, who's right. We're working together for many years. When I talk about this project, is like super excited as a kid, right? He jumped right back to his early years and say, okay, this is one of my favorite sci-fi movies. I didn't know that it's so big to me, and the people waiting for this.
Well, I mean,
So
as a
yeah,
kid,
I'm
we
very
didn't have
nervous.
the toys. We didn't have the toys, which I don't understand why they didn't make the toys. I mean, I think they would have sold well, but they never made them. And I know they made a prototype of the figures and stuff like that, but it
Yeah,
never
I saw
sold. They
that.
never
Yeah,
made them. But if I had the opportunity to buy the starship or the
yeah.
characters in general,
I would
even
love to. Yeah, I would love to have that Gunstar, right? If they make one, I want to put it right here, right there, because it looks the design is see here the original design of the ship and the Centauri car. Uh,
oh
we
yeah,
already designed part of sorry, Alien and Back to the Future. Future. He works on many other movies as a designer, and I mean, something that the name is not serious. I'm gonna have to Google it because. But I take a look on the design, and there's a lot of good designs. So if you make a toy today of those designs, they're gonna sell it because I went to San Diego and I watched so many things from the '80s, like many movies from the '80s, like Battlestar Galactica or Star Trek, and it's okay. What is not? Nobody's working on the Last Starfighter because people are gonna buy it, man.
yep. And that's why this piece right here. That's why this piece. I
Yeah,
ran this artist. He does wood. His art is wood, right?
yeah, yeah,
I met him at a show in Austin, outside of Austin. So when I go to a convention, I always first thing I go to is Artist Alley. I go look at people who do their crafting and stuff like that. And as I'm going down that aisle, that's the first thing that pops at the table. And I was only there for the day. I wasn't there for the weekend. So by the time I went back, I already had sold the one he had made for the show. So anyway, mind you, years later go by, and I had him on Facebook. And then when this came up, I messaged him and I'm like, "Hey man, by any chance do you have that Last Starfighter piece? Have you made a new one?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have." I'm like, "Cause I'm gonna be sitting down with the artist that's doing the continuation of the comic, that's doing the movie from the beginning, and I want that to be in my background so people can see what this Last Starfighter is and what it means to the younger generation of us,
yeah,
and hoping the next generations jump on board as much as we did, because it was a great story, inspirational, um, and it was ahead of its time for technology wise, for the
yeah.
graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was one of the first movies to use that
Yeah,
technology. It was
and,
amazing. It's part of the story, right? Because now we have a million of movies, but that was one of the first who took that chance because you don't know how it's gonna work. So that is pretty special. Actually, about the artwork, I'm preparing. I don't have time, but I had to prepare a lot of traditional artwork because I work digitally. Because
and that's
Paul
what I was
Davidson,
gonna ask
who is
next.
yeah, Paul Davidson is a huge fan of the movie and is producer. He's really fun and he told me the other day, can you draw me a picture of the Last Starfighter traditional way because I'm gonna buy it to you. And he told me say I don't have too many traditional artwork. Say okay, if you're gonna be in San Diego, you have to prepare a lot of traditional work because people are gonna buy it. Don't be, please make a lot of, as much as you can because people are gonna ask for traditional artwork and buy it. And I'm gonna have to prepare some artwork. So if you visit San Diego this year, let me know and I prepare something. No problem.
And that's what I was gonna gravitate to next. Is that as an artist, most artists are, some are traditional still, some transition 50-50, some have transitioned fully to digital. So where are you? Are you 50-50 right now?
No, I'm totally digital. But I start thinking that if my name comes to most popular in between artists, I think it's a good idea to start working 50-50 because I can sell the artwork. If I work with a project like this, which has many fans, are gonna they wanna buy from traditional artwork. That's for sure. A page from Last Starfighter is gonna something that people go, yeah, yeah, I know. I have to change that. It's hard because I work for years in digital, and it's hard to design everything. But I think when I finish this issue, I'm finishing the fourth issue, and I start with the last one. It's gonna be five for now, but I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. It's hard for me to believe that it's gonna be just five issues because I think that something is moving on. So
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. And one of the things I hope they do, because I haven't seen it in FOC cutoffs yet, but I haven't seen any blank covers for it. Like, because normally,
yeah,
if
I
you
think
could have a sketch cover, you can have
okay,
somebody draw on it.
perfectly
So
right.
if they do Last Starfighter sketch covers, oh, I'm so buying those.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because even if I were to see you, let's say at San Diego, and they have sketch covers, and you don't have your original art, I could just say, "Hey, draw me a gun." Okay, now I gotta
I
ask this.
prepare some. I have some traditional artwork from Last Starfighter. I create. I had a couple of pieces, but it's not a huge amount. But I had to create more, like a lot of more. I have five, six.
So I have to ask, how was it drawing the gunner, the gunship?
How? Sorry.
How was it drawing the gunship? How was it
Oh
drawing it?
man, it was. I think part of this project was I was preparing my whole life because I was working on studied 3D and concept artist design comic books. I always want to be a concept artist. So when they tell me, okay, you have to design, it was like my favorite thing to do because I love to design. It's part of the most happy place to me. So I had to design in 3D. So I have all these kind of shots, and it was funny because what I did to create the new ships, I had to use parts of that Camstar and create a new one. So I create my whole world in 3D, and then I start working. But I think I was
Wow.
working a lot of time. I designed a lot of things in 3D to understand even the city and a lot of buildings. So to understand the architecture, right? Because I wanted to create something that I can reuse and don't change between panels. I want to have that feeling that you are into this world if you land into Relos and this is the place. And even if you take a shot from a small building or another one or anything you want to take is belongs to the same planet, right? It's something that
Wow.
I work hard. And the Gunstar is pretty challenging because it's a tricky ship because they have these weird angles if you move it. And but I can tell you there's some shots that from the Gunstar the people from the team tell me that they wanted a printed copy of that because it was super excited. It was looked amazing,
Well,
and I try to do it exactly as it is. I don't want to change anything, modernize anything. I will do it exactly as it looks in the movie. Yeah, this is one of the shots, but I have a lot of other shots from the Gunstan and a lot
this
of.
right here, dude, you had me on the first two shots. Like, I was already like, okay, I'm in. Like, the artwork, I'm sold with the artwork. I mean, the details that you put into the
Oh, there's so many.
characters.
I lose my mind with details, and some pieces of the some pages. It was like okay, I added too much detail.
Dude, that's a part. You're gonna immerse us into the movie when it's in a comic book form, and I feel that's the best part because now. So as for me, I don't know. I was gonna ask this about you too. So when you read a comic, do you just start reading it, or do you take in the image first and then read? What is your process?
No images. I'm a person of images. I love to the writers that I admire, like Robert Kierman or I don't know, Grant Morrison. I love it. But the image is something that I can escape, man. If the artwork don't like me, it's hard to attach me to the story. But when the artwork fits perfectly with the story, it's like for me it's magical. And that's what I try to do when I took my work. When somebody sent me the script and I had to start working, uh, and try to image everything in my head. So the image is something. What I try to do when I start on a comic book is the Last Starfighter as an example. Every I want to you can read this the story without the text. You can see all the panels, all the story, and see, okay, I understand the story, not in detail, but you don't need to letters to understand what is happening. I need to express everything in those panels, and when you put the letters, look better. But I need to make it clear from the images. So that's my way to work. I'm not paying too much attention to the script when, yeah, the description, not the dialogue. It's like the image had to have this feeling and this movement and camera movement, and that's the way I work. And I don't know any other way to work. That's
That
is I can tell you this a very cinematic comic book because it's my way to work. And in other projects that I worked in the past, people tell me in critiques and all that, my style is very cinematic. So I think it's part of something that is in me. I'm not that kind of 90 artist style. It's not my thing. And I was fighting against that. I got a lot of time because it's okay. Nobody hired me, so I had to change my style because nobody liked it. And I had to be more like this, more like that. But then, at the end of the day, it's just me. And the artwork is represent what is me, how I see, how I imagine all this work.
yeah, no, that's the thing. You want to make it your own and make it to where people know that, hey, when they see that page, they know this is you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's my my goal.
And that's the best part, man. And the
Yeah.
thing is, and for the next generation right now, this is something that I also ask every artist. For the younger kids that are in high school that love drawing and want to get into comics, what would you encourage them to do to prepare them?
Well, be patient first. Be persistent because it's a shop that you're gonna hear many millions of no before you heard the first yes. And if people tell you that you're not made meant to be, if you say okay you're not good enough, it's because you need to keep working because you're gonna get that level if you work hard. I mean, you have to work every day. You have to draw every day, man. It's not like okay, I'm gonna take the weekend to draw because it's not gonna happen, man. You have to work every single day, even if you know don't finish the page because maybe you have another job because you don't make money from this one. It doesn't matter. Just keep drawing and learn from the best. Try to take what you like from the artist that you love because it's the best way to train your eyes, right? If you take a look from the best artist, you're gonna see what you like from that. It's like try to analyze that artist and what is from that artist that you like, why you like that artist. And then took whatever you think is good, the way to draw, I don't know, hair, eyes, body, whatever you want. And then try to recreate in your own way, right? It's not like create something from zero. It's taking like Frankenstein thing from another artist and create your own monster. It's like the way I see it. And you have to spend not just 2 years or 3 years, like I told you before, and you to get paid in this job you had to work at least 10 years with no
Wow.
money, so you had to take your time, you had to be patient, and then even when you think you made it, this is something I always tell. It's my own story. It takes me a lot of time to be confusing, and in the American publisher is even harder because it's more competitive. So I start working on Antarctica, and I went to San Diego, and I remember it was like a dream come true because I was in the top caput signing copies. I mean, Mark Silvestri, who is a legend, reference for me. It was like I was the same. I had the dinner with Mark Silvestri, who's blow my mind. It's like I mean I admired for years, and we sharing a meal. So this is the dream, right? And then a year later, that nobody hired me, and I had to back to work to a coffee shop after San Diego. After be sitting with drinking, having a drink with Shane Steinion and Scott Snyder, it was like, what the hell is going on? Why I'm working in a coffee shop again? It's not something bad, but it's like the dream is over, and you have to deal with that and say, okay, I'm not going to give it up, and I go back and keep working even harder than before. I try to become even better artist that I wasn't that, and I'm here now. I don't know what I'm going to be next year. Maybe I work in a coffee shop again, but I know that you have to keep pushing, man. Don't think that you get it because it's never like that. You have to keep pushing forward. You always you always could be better artist. That's for sure.
Yeah, never stop learning. And then you had mentioned
Never.
earlier before we recorded about the piece of the Harley Quinn in the background right there
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you recreated it yourself because you
yeah.
look up to Alex
I
Ross as well.
regret from Alex Ross. I regret many pieces. Superman and Joker. Another piece of Joker. The Hulk. I was like a formation for me. I was working in watercolor, exactly the same technique that Alex Ross used. So I studied for years, and then I moved to digital. That is part of life. But I learned so much. So you have to sacrifice many things in this path because if you wanted to go to play a video games and you have to work, you have to say no. I'm going to work even if you don't get paid. You have if you want to go out with a friend, take a beer, and you need to, and you spend those 3 hours hanging out with a friend. Is really important to you as an artist. Spend those 3 hours working because that's want to create your own style. That's want to build you as an artist.
Yeah, that's the truth. And even as a YouTube or what do you call it, podcast like I am, you know, I had wanted to do this for years. I didn't have the platform. I didn't know where to start. You know, Ted, who created Countdown, already had created all this. And I came in as a teammate and helped them on their getting guests and stuff like that. And I had pitched something that I had wanted to do for years, which was a podcast to talk about the people in the industry, which is comic book artists and writers and creators in general. Um, because that has never been done on to me the way I'm doing it. Because as of right now, you know, a lot of the legends are passing away, and you, the up and coming artists that are going to pave the way for the next generation, you know, we need to hear your story
Yeah,
because
definitely.
everybody's story is different, and we need to
Yeah.
hear that.
Yeah, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Not gonna say, oh, if you have the talent, you got it. No, even if you have the talent, you have to work hard and you have to deal with rejection because people are gonna tell you no so many times. And even when you think, okay, I'm good enough, and people are gonna say, no, man, you're not good enough. And you can hear it even if you publish it in an Otaka or Image Comics. People are gonna still tell you, no, you're not ready for DC or you're not ready for Marvel. Maybe I'm not ready yet. I don't know. Time will tell. But I don't take it like okay, this is my roof. No, it's not like that, and you have to learn that pretty fast because it's gonna hurt when you show your own work, your best work, and people tell you no, it's not good enough. It's not easy to listen, man. Not easy to hear. Okay, no, you're not good enough. But you're gonna hear that a lot. Prepare yourself.
So I was going to ask, and I also ask this from every artist as well. Is there an IP, horror movie wise, TV, or comic that you would want to work on that you have not been able to work on yet?
My Everest, right? My mountain is Batman. I mean, the day that I think my whole career I was searching for that dream to work Batman and draw. I don't know, 2 pages, a cover. I don't know. I hope someday I could work on the Dark Knight, and that is my. I had a lot of other franchise IPs like Daredevil, many Hellboy. I don't know. There's a lot of characters that I love, but Batman is like okay, this is where I want to be. This is it. Like okay, this journey can end there, right? And this is my goal. If that is the last comic that I draw, is I'm fine with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, man, keep going. You never know. That's the thing. In you know, you put in the work and constantly do it. Never give up. That passion, if you have it, that passion is something you can't. Not everybody gets or everybody has. Um, and it's just keep doing it. That's all you can do, and share it. You know what I mean, and pass on your knowledge to the next generation, because you know a lot of schools here in the United States they're doing away with art schools. They're banning certain books and all that kind of stuff. I mean, and for you growing up in Argentina, you had way more limited access to comics compared to us here in the U.S. So for you to inspire yourself to have the access that you had to comics and you have been able to do what you're doing now, dude, I give you props and thank you for bringing and creating the new world of the Last Starfighter.
I think you're gonna love it. We could talk later when you have the first 5 issues, and you're gonna tell me what you think about this new world. I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it, but I don't know. Time will tell.
And then again, so for people who don't know this comic, how would you entice them to go buy it?
I don't know. I think if you're new on this franchise, you're gonna get a fantastic adventure because there's so many things happening in this issue. It's like watching a new movie. It's like totally dynamic. The story, you're gonna love the new characters. I mean, I love it because I think for the new people, it's like expanding this universe. For the old people like us, we already watched the movie. It's gonna be something special to reunite with Centauri, to Greg, to Maggie, to see what's happened with this character for many years. It's like frozen in time, and now you're gonna see what's happened with them. So you're gonna enjoy it so much because I think the team behind the entire team of Matt Gay put everything to rebuild this franchise, and never forget that the original creator of the story is behind this project, and this is something really special. Jonathan is behind all this, and is his voice on his story. So it's like George Lucas behind a Star Wars new comic book. You're gonna have the right idea of the story.
Wow.
So
I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Again, guys, go follow him. He drops little teasers here and there. He does some
yeah,
cool little things, and that's where I
I don't
saw
say too much. Sorry,
that.
I will.
But no, and you could go down the rabbit hole. Go look at the other stuff that he's worked on. I mean, like I mentioned, his art is unique, especially with you know the H.P. Lovecraft that he put together, the horror characters. I mean, go read that too. I mean, like I said, I know some of the issues are gonna be hard to find, but come August, the graphic novel will drop, so you can actually get all the issues in one. And because that's the hard part now with FOC cutoffs. Once FOC cutoffs are done, once that comic is sold out and it's not up on resale, where you're going to be paying 15 to 20 bucks instead of the regular cover price, go out to your local comic shops, support your local comic shops, pre-order these comics so that come Wednesday, you're not going to the shelf and it's empty. You already have it in the box. You say, hey, I'm here to pick up my pre-order. Go do that, because these independent comic shops are what's keeping this industry for us to keep reading comics and the next generations to learn and have this stuff to look at. I mean, it's, mind you, me growing up, I didn't have the luxury of having a comic book shop to go to and hang out on a Friday. I had to go to a convenience store to get a comic. And that was maybe like you had mentioned, you just grabbed one here, but you didn't know when you're going to get the next one.
No.
Yeah, you guys have it made now. You have a place where you can go chill, hang with friends, talk, support the local comic shops and support artists like Willi. I mean, they do great work.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all take it easy.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah.
Get ready. Prepare for blast.
Greetings, San Antonio. Calling all Last Starfighter fans.
Centauri's the name. We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance.
Hey, all you Last Starfighter fans. This is Catherine Mary Stewart. I played Maggie in the original movie The Last Starfighter back in 1984. Well, I have some news.
Come meet me and Catherine Mary Stewart at Big Alpaca Comics.
To sign the brand new Mad Cave comic book based on the movie.
Mark your calendars, July 11th. You can pre-order your comic today.
So, I hope to see you guys there.
Now face it, Alex. You're a born starfighter.